Good afternoon there, ladies and gentlemen. Back here with Game 2. I'm Brandon Morbilius. Alongside here with me, well, we got Mitchell over here actually with me today doing the PA announcing. Wanted to get him some recognition for his hard work here today. But again, I'm flying solo here on the broadcast again, like I mentioned in Game 1. We missed Redbeard here, but he was unable to be here this afternoon and this morning. But again, hope everybody enjoyed Game 1 of today, in which the Raiders won that one by a final score of 11-1 in 6 innings. So now you move on to Game 2 here, in which Northeastern now 4-5, Wapahani 7-3, and it's always a great day to be out here from the beautiful confines of Raider Field here in Selma, Indiana. So, folks, we'll get right into things here with our Raiders Live pregame presented by FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Again, Wapahani got a big win here in Game 1. Great way to start the day, and really sets the tone now for Game 2. And it gets us, it gives us confidence, number one. And number two, hopefully the bats, continue to stay alive here the way it was in the first game. We was really hitting and spraying the ball to all fields. And we was, we had good timely hitting as well. I think that was another key thing. We was getting timely base hits. And, like I said, 1 through 9, we got the job done. We did what we had to do to come out here and execute and make great of every opportunity that was given to us. And, the pitching performance there by Gage Gadberry in Game 1 was superb. I mean, it was right on the money. And I talked about that in our post-game report in Game 1, was how, he was hitting the spots. He was, mixing up his pitches so well. And, he was getting ahead of his hitters and changing the eye level. He just did everything that a pitcher should do. He did it, and he did it with a lot of success, and really didn't have a whole lot of trouble throughout the ball game. So that was really great to see, and I'm happy for him. And then you had like I said, the pitching, along with the hitting, and then the defense. Everything that went with it was just overall a fantastic job, well done. So now you come here into Game 2. A little bit of a different look to the lineup here for Northeastern. Pretty much about the same here for Wapahani. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that lineup here for Northeastern. We don't have the graphic for them. We do have the graphic here for Wapahani, so apologize there for Northeastern for that. But leading off, playing left field, number 17, Colton Alexander. Batting second, playing third base, number 29, Zach Jakowski. Batting third and playing center field, number 7, Justin Bain. Batting fourth, and he's going to be the designated hitter, rather. Number 25, Spencer Benner. He'll be hitting for the first base, number 16, Mike White. Batting fifth and playing second base, Seth Middleton. Batting sixth and catching, number 2, Cade Bray. Batting seventh and pitching, number 24, Damian Esquivel. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 4, Tyler Jakowski. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 22, Ben Deitch. So again, that is the Northeastern Knights. Now, if you're Wapahani Raiders, you got leading things off here, center fielder number 15, Garrett Stanley. Batting second, playing shortstop, number 5, Evan Roush. Batting third and catching, number 3, Tyson Lipscomb. Batting fourth and pitching, number 22, Braxton Davis. Batting fifth, and playing first base, number 17, Brevin Rivers. Batting sixth, third baseman Nolan Dudley. Seventh is the second baseman, 21, Riley Porter. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 4, Luke Willman. He'll be hitting for the right fielder, number 10, Seth Adams. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 11, Isaiah Brozier. So again, that's today's starting lineup here for Game 2 for Wapahani. Again, head coach here, Brian Dudley, assisted by Jason Dudley, Willie Pease, Blake Turner, Randy Murphy. So now, Game 2 here, folks, of today's doubleheader. Braxton Davis again here on the mound, and that will be in there for a ball to begin things off. So 1-0 the count here on Colton Alexander. And bunted back. So now that will even things up here at 1 ball and 1 strike here on Alexander. Again, really the only changes here, Braxton Davis moved from third to the mound, and then Nolan Dudley now playing third base here for Wapahani here in Game 2. Other than that, everybody's where they were in the first game. Swung on and missed, strike 2. So the count now stands at 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Alexander. Again, wearing some different uniforms than they did in Game 1. And the 1-2 pitch. And it's going to be a fly ball in the shallow left field. And look at Isaiah Brozier with the sliding grab out there in left field for out number 1 of the inning. So that will now bring up the third baseman, number 29, Zach Jakowski. Tell you what, Brozier had a real nice game there in Game 1. I think he ended up having 2 or 3 hits in that one. And obviously capping it off there with the RBI single to end the ball game there in the bottom of the 6th inning. So 0-1 here on Jakowski. A ball low and away. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis gets the signs. Here's the pitch. Ground ball there to the pitcher on the first. Or either he'll just take it himself. So already 2 up and 2 down.
Stepping up to the plate, the center fielder.
And now the center fielder, number 7, Justin Bain, now at the plate. So Davis trying to make quick work here of the Knights here in the top of the first inning. 1-0 the count. Following Bain will be Spencer Benner, which hopefully we'll have to wait to see him next inning. A ball outside, now 2 balls and no strikes. Davis with a windup. Here's the 2-0. A ball up and in. So that will now run the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Hopefully Davis can come all the way back here. And that will be in there for a ball. All right. Must have been a little bit up there. So nevertheless, a 2-out walk to Bain, which Gadberry only walked 1 guy in Game 1. I can't remember necessarily all the stats. I'd have to calculate it all up, and I'll try to get to that later on and make sure and put a little bit more updated stats on Twitter. But I think Gadberry only walked 1 guy, and that was the very first batter of the game, which was Colton Alexander there in Game 1. And other than that, I mean, he was mowing hitters down left and right. So 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, and 1 on here in the top of the first, as that one's going to be fouled back. Now to even account here at a ball and a strike. Benner in the lineup here in Game 2. Wasn't in the lineup for Game 1. Designated hitter here today. He's hitting for the first baseman, Mike White. Davis with the pitch. And another one fouled back and out of play. So now the count again here at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out here in the top of the first inning. It's been a great day for baseball, folks. I tell you, I've said that time and time and again, but man, after the day that we had yesterday, bad weather, wind, I mean, it was absolutely brutal out there. And the day before that was real nice, right around 80 degrees. It's not quite there today. I think we're supposed to get nearly around 60 or so, but when you can come out here and enjoy a nice sunny day, there's that play as the shortstop throws on the second, and that's that. So a great inning of work there for Davis overall, as the Knights collect no runs here on no hits, also no errors, and 1 left on. We'll head to the bottom of the first, folks, right here on the WHS Network.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All right, folks, welcome back here on the WHS Network, here with the bottom half of the first inning. Again, I talked about earlier there, Wapahani won game one 11-1. And, really the top of the lineup, again, continued to flourish here. It all started there with Garrett Stanley. Had 3 hits on the day, had a pair of singles and also a double. So really looking to see what he can provide here in game 2 of the afternoon. Again, the Raiders, fairly busy week here. Had a game Tuesday night, and then was able to come back again on Thursday. Had a ball game again at Jay County, and then these 2 games a day. So roughly about four games here in about 4 or 5 days. But it's always good to get these games, and always. I know personally, as a former player myself, I always enjoyed playing games more than I did practice, which I'm sure these guys are probably in the same mindset. It's always a great day when you can come out here and play the game of baseball, though, folks, I tell you. So we'll see what happens here as we begin this bottom half of the first inning. And again, we'll lead things off here with the center fielder, number 15, Garrett Stanley. Again, had 3 hits in the first game. Also a couple runs scored, stolen base. As he will watch that one sail outside for a ball, 1-0. Again, we have Damian Esquivel on the mound here today for Northeastern. For game 2, as that one is a little low there now, 2-0. And one thing I really liked a lot, and also in the first game that I really took a very close notice of, we was working the counts a lot, as that's going to be a base hit into left field. So a nice piece of hitting there for Stanley to get the Raiders off and going here in the top of the first inning. But, we was really able to work the counts and make the pitchers really put themselves in a position that they don't really want to be in. And, a lot of full counts. And just, again, from a hitting standpoint, we made them throw a hitter's pitch. And it really worked out well for us. We was able to execute on numerous times and be able to collect some hits. Obviously, 11 runs on the day as well, 14 hits. So hopefully that's just going to be a continuation of things there, as Stanley will go on in there at second base standing up. So 0-1 here on Evan Roush. We'll see what the game plan might be here. We'll see if maybe if Roush swings away, or might even drop a bunt down, get Stanley on to third. We'll see what happens here. Of course, you got the heavy hitter there, and Tyson Lipscomb waiting on deck. Bunt shown and completely fooled the catcher. I'm a little surprised that he ended up calling a strike there. It was close. I mean, it looked like a pretty good pitch, but completely fooled the catcher, as it's now no balls and 2 strikes here on Evan. Esquivel will come to the set, and a pitch will be a ground ball there to the first baseman, as he'll step on first to collect the out. Stanley does move up to third, so a very productive out there by Evan Roush. does get the base runner up 90 feet closer towards home plate. So 3 unassisted put out, official scoring there. Again, Stanley advances on the third. And now the catcher, number 3, Tyson Lipscomb. Home plate. Didn't collect the hit in the first game, talked about that, but he did get an RBI. So hoping to collect his first hit of the day right here. So that's going to be a ball low and in. 1-0 to begin things here on Tyson. He's had a really hot start again here to the season. I think, I'm not sure if he still is or not, but he was right there like in the top 10, top 20, something like that in the state of Indiana in RBIs to begin the season. Not sure exactly where he is right now. I haven't checked the updated stats here within the past week or so. But really having a strong start here to his senior year, as that's another one low, and that's going to be by the catcher as Stanley trots on home to score the game's first run. So the Raiders get on the board. Don't even have to really do a whole lot, except for the leadoff single there by Stanley. And then the wild pitch that advances and scores Garrett on the plate. 2-0 the count again here on Tyson. So I guess Lipscomb will have to pick up an RBI the hard way here and possibly send one out of the ballpark and into the White River maybe. We'll see what happens now. 3-0 the count. And the main thing is you just want to find a way to get on base. We had 2 home runs in the first game, both of them by Luke Willman. He had a grand slam and then a 2-run shot. So here's the 3-0 pitch here to Tyson. And that will be in there for a strike. Now 3-1. Escobar with the windup. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's down the first base line foul. So now runs the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Again, the Raiders have already put a run up on the board after the wild pitch. Obviously led off the game with a single from Stanley, stole second, advanced on to third on the bunt, the ground out there by Roush, and then scored on the wild pitch there, and there's Lipscomb, and he'll hit that one in the center field. The center fielder's there to make the catch for out number 2 of the inning, so hit that one right there on the button, but unfortunately right to the center fielder, Bain. Tough break there for Lipscomb, but I'll tell you what, that's the kind of hits that you want to see. You want these line drive shots. Now just got to find some open real estate out there, and hopefully we'll be off and running for days. So now we'll have the pitcher, number 22, Braxton Davis, at the plate. He had a great game of himself there as well, as that will be in there for a ball. Davis here in game 1 ended up collecting 3 hits. He was 3 for 4 with 3 ribeyes. So looking to continue that little hitting clinic he put on here. A ball low, now 2-0. And the pitch. So here's the 3-0 offering, and ball 4. So Davis will take his base after a 4-pitch walk. So he has a nice little on-base streak going here. And now we'll see the first baseman, Brevin Rivers. Another big-time threat here for Wapahani. Looking to come up big right here, right now. With 2 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the first inning. So Esquivel will come to the set. Here's the pitch, and swung on and missed for a strike here, 0-1. So again, Rivers looking to get the Raiders another base runner out here with 2 out and 1 on. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Davis off and running. We got to play down here at second, and Davis will be in there safely with a stolen base. Ball is up in the zone there, so now 1 ball and 1 strike. So hopefully Rivers can take advantage of this opportunity given to him here. You got a runner out there now in scoring position. You got another opportunity to add another run. And the pitch. And a little bloop shot down the right field line, foul. So now it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count here on Brevin with Nolan Dudley waiting on deck. And now a little meeting between umpires here. Not sure what that's all about. I don't know if they might be talking about maybe the pitcher might not be coming to a set. I'm not quite sure. I know they looked over at head coach Brian Dudley over there on the third base line. So I don't know if there was maybe something there, from a standpoint of maybe the pitcher not coming all the way to a set, or maybe some movement to where there might be a balk. I'm not sure. And that's going to be over the head there, and Davis march on to third. Oh my goodness gracious, overthrown the third baseman. Sorry I didn't get that there in the shot. But again, another old-fashioned way of scoring a run. So an error on the throw advances Davis not only to third, but on the home for now a 2-0 lead. So again, a stolen base of third, and then an error on the throw by the catcher, which end up scoring Davis. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now another one fouled back and out of play. So Rivers staying alive there, battling. That's what you want to see. Just continue to battle, and win that battle. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Raiders up already 2-0 here, looking for more. Esquivel gets his signs. Here's the windup and the pitch. I tell you what, that was nearly heading right towards him, and then darted right back close to the plate there, but it was a little bit low. Some big-time movement on that one. So here we are with a payoff pitch. And ball 4. Great at bat there by Brevin Rivers. Job well done there, young man. Very patient. Kept fouling off a couple pitches there. Worked it into a more favorable count there for himself. And was able to draw the walk. So now, with a runner on and 2 out here in the inning, the third baseman, number 16, Nolan Dudley, now standing in. Great opportunity continuing here, as that's going to be a ball low and away. Now 1-0 to begin things here on Dudley. Came in and pinched hit in the first game. I think he pinched it there in the 6th inning. Flew out to the right fielder. So technically looking for his first hit of the day. So that's another one low. 2-0 the count. So really making Esquivel pitch here in this first inning, really making him work hard and exert himself, as it's now 3-0. This really hasn't been very easy for him. And again, I've already touched on it, but in the first game, we was able to do the same thing. It's about working the counts and making the pitcher have to exert, an amount of energy to where, eventually it's going to just wear him out, just because you're able to work him so hard in every single at bat. That's in there called a strike. I mean, most of the time, at least through these first 5 hitters, well, I guess even including Dudley, now the 6th hitter, I don't think there's been anybody that's seen anything less than 3 pitches. Stanley got a hit on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. But everybody else, it's been 3 pitches or more. So another walk. Now runners at first and second. And you're keeping the pitcher from getting in a rhythm and gaining confidence. That's the name of the game there as a hitter, is being able to cause as much disruption as possible at the plate. Again, make the pitcher work and continue to put crooked numbers up on the scoreboard. Right now this has been a very long inning here for Esquivel. And we're hoping that Riley Porter can continue to extend that now as he steps into the plate. Again, Riley had a really nice day at the plate as well there in Game 1. Had 3 runs scored, also a couple of hits. Was also hit by a pitch. So again, you have Rivers at second, Dudley at first. Of course, neither guy is, I guess, a speedster, but they can definitely get around the bases pretty quickly. But not a huge threat as far as from a stolen base standpoint, as that's going to be a ball low in the dirt. 1-0 to begin things here on Riley Porter. Esquivel will come to the set. And the 1-0 to Porter. And that's going to plunk him there on the backside. So now Porter will trot on down to first. And don't look now, folks, but the bases are tanked again for the one and only Luke Willman. We all know what happened there in the first game. He sent one over the left center field wall right above the 345 sign for a grand salami. Now, sure, would that be nice again? Absolutely. But again, the main thing is you want to be productive, find a way to get on base, put another run up on the board. So Willman will now step in. Runners at all bases. And that nearly took the head off of Willman. So it's 1-0 the count. Number 8 hitter in the order. And also a freshman as well. Esquivel will come to the set, and here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled off to even up the count here at 1 ball and a strike. So again, Stanley led all this off at a single, and then Roush grounded out to the first baseman. Lipscomb end up lining out to the center fielder. Again, Stanley scored on a wild pitch. That was during the at-bat there of Lipscomb. Also, Davis walked. Rivers walked. Davis ended up scoring on a stolen base and then an error by the catcher during the bat there to Rivers. Dudley walked, and then Porter hit by a pitch. Oh, wow. They said that the hitter went around. I'm not quite sure that he might have. I don't know. I'm not down on the field, so hard to say. You just got to go with it. So, nevertheless, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And down the third base line, it's going to be fair. Motoring around third, there's Dudley as he heads home. How about that, Luke Willman? That's how you do it there, young man. 4-0 Wapahani. And the beat just keeps on going there for Luke Willman.
Next up to bat, left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier.
So Rivers and Dudley both score. Again, Porter advances on the third. And now number 11, Isaiah Brozier now to plate. With still a pair of runners on out there at second and third. As that's in there for a ball, 1-0. So already a quick jump start to things, 4-0 already. The Raiders with 2 hits here in the inning. Ball well inside now, 2-0. Brozier, again, the number 9 hitter in the order. I haven't tabulated how many pitches Esquivel has thrown so far, but it's up there good ways. There's the 2-0 pitch. Giving him the benefit of the call right there. Now 2-1. So Brozier will step back there in the batter's box. Esquivel back on the rubber, gets his signs. And now the 2-1 offering will be well inside for ball 3. So Esquivel again has worked himself into a little bit of a sticky situation there. Brozier with a great opportunity here, base hit or a walk. 3 balls and a strike. Runners at second and third, 2 out. And the pitch. Ball 4. Oh, man. Thought it was ball 4, but strike 2. That's all right. If you're Brozier, you want to hit anyway. A walk's nice, but base hit's even nicer. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's going to be right into center field. That's going to get down in there for a base hit. Here comes Willman around third, and he'll head home. And a 2 RBI single for Isaiah Brozier, and the Raiders lead at 6-0. Tell you what, he's continuing to hit good here today.
Back at the top of the lineup with the center fielder number 15.
So Porter scores, Willman scores. Again, Brozier there in that first game had a couple of hits, also a pair of runs scored. So he's continuing his hot day at the plate. And back to the top of the lineup here with Garrett Stanley. Ground ball there to the third base side, and foul is the call. So 0-1 here on Garrett Stanley. Again, in his first plate appearance here in the second game, he had a leadoff single, stole a base, and then advanced onto third after the ground out there by Roush, and then scored on the wild pitch. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and they're called a strike. You got to protect now if you're Stanley. Got to have a nice 2-strike approach here. Put the ball in play and see what happens from there. Brozier at first. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ball up in the zone, and Brozier will be in there safely at second. Pretty good pitch to go on right there. So stolen base for Brozier is now he's out there in second base in scoring position. And Stanley now with an opportunity to cash in with an RBI right here. Another one, a little chin music there. Up and in. Esquivel's just kind of been a little bit of everywhere. And again, that's no disrespect towards the young man, but He's had to work. I mean, he has had to work in this inning. And I'm sure some of the little mechanics have kind of went out the door. He's just trying to find a way to get the out. And now Stanley hit by a pitch. And that's going to be the end of the day there for Esquivel. Coach is coming out, so obviously the second mound visit of the inning, got to take the pitcher out. So that's the end of the day there for him. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 6 runs, and tough break there for him, but we'll see who the next pitcher is going to be. We'll get back to you right here on the WHS Network following the pitching change. Again, the Raiders up 6-0, bottom half the first inning. All righty, folks. Again, the pitching change here for Northeastern. Again, as Damian Esquivel lasted 2/3 of an inning. New pitcher here, number 19, Chad. It's either going to be Level or Level or Lavelle. There's 3 different options, I guess. We're just going to go with Level. If that is incorrect, and if you're the parents or some kind of a friend or relative of this young man, and if I pronunciate it incorrectly, then I apologize. But nevertheless, Chad Level is now the new pitcher here for Northeastern, as Esquivel had a laundry load list of problems there. So 0-1, the count here on Evan Roush. Again, you have Brozier at second, Stanley at first, and that's went into a tailspin. I mean, and this has been all with 2 outs. We've had 7 guys consecutively get on base with 2 outs. So you're talking about a little 2-out magic. This is 2-out magic to its expertise there. See, here comes Stanley motoring around third, heading home. So he'll be in there safely. And an RBI single now for Evan Roush as he gets in on things, as it's now 7-0 Raiders. Pardon me, that was Brozier that scored. I apologize. Isaiah Brozier scored on the play, not Stanley. Stanley's now at third. So again, Roush at first, Stanley at third, and now the catcher, number 3, Tyson Lipscomb at home plate. Lined out to the center fielder in the first inning. A hard shot there to the center fielder. Looking to find some open real estate here. And a little bloop shot in the center field. We'll see if it falls. A shortstop there, and we'll make the play. But the Raiders, plate 7 here in the bottom of the first inning, as they lead at 7-0 after 1. We'll step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with more Raider baseball coming up on the WHS Network. Alrighty, welcome back here to the top of the second inning here on the WHS Network. Again, glad to have all you with us here for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Again, Wapahani took Game 1 11-1. And now Game 2, we've gotten off to another great start as that's fouled off there to the first base side. Rivers there to make the play for out number 1 of the inning. So nothing like a little one-pitch, one-out action there as Middleton's gone. So now we'll see the catcher, number 2, Cade Bray. But as I was just mentioning there, the Raiders, had a great game last game, 11 runs on 14 hits. You come right back here in the bottom of the first inning, putting 7 runs up on the board along with 4 hits. That was big time. Drawing walks, had a couple hit by a pitch. It was just, the list continued to go on there, and Esquivel ended up getting knocked out of the game. So if you can knock the starting pitcher out in the first inning, then you're definitely doing your job there. And unfortunate there for that young man, but a great thing here for Wapahani, as we're going to have a brief little timeout here. The batter going to chat there with his coach down the third baseline. But just a fantastic start to the day here for Wapahani in game number 2. Obviously, Davis had a shutdown inning there in the first, and looking for much of the same here in the second inning. It's already 1 ball and 1 strike here on Bray. And then following him will be, again, the pitcher. It would be number 19, Chad Liebel. So now 2-1 the count here on Bray. And there for a strike. Evens the count up here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 offering. And a fly ball into center field. Stanley backpedals, makes the catch. And that will be the second out of the inning. So a quick 2 up and 2 down. And now we'll see the pitcher, number 19, Chad Liebel. Ball low in the dirt there. 1-0 to begin things here on Liebel. Shows bunt, offered at it. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Probably not all that bad of an idea right there by the batter. Looks like a pretty quick young man there. The infield playing back. Davis now playing even with the bag, and that's going to be in there called strike 2. Davis gets a signs. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Little dribbler down the third baseline, foul. So the count will stay put at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got a very nice crowd here on hand today. It's a beautiful sunny day here from the friendly confines of Raider Field. Swung on and missed. See you later. So Davis mows them down 1-2-3 here in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Again, Raiders lead at 7-0. All right, folks, back here with the bottom half of the second inning here on the WHS Network. Again, as the Raiders with a sizable lead here of 7-0 as we open up this second inning of baseball here in Game 2 of the afternoon. It's been a great day out here from Raider Field, no question about that, with the way that Wapahani's been playing, a nice bounce-back way of playing the game the right way. You know, we lost there to Jay County on Thursday. Very hard-fought ball game. Just a pitcher's duel. 4-3 was the final score there in that one. You know, so the best of luck there to Jay County the rest of the way. We respect those guys. I know a couple guys from over there. Got a very, very, very good baseball team over there. So, you know, you come back from that after an unfortunate loss there on the road, set the tone early, was able to get a big win in Game 1. You come right back here in Game 2. We've gotten off to a great start, and, you know, you're continuing to see great at-bats and production 1 through 9. You're getting great pitching, so, you know, at least so far anyway. Don't want to, I guess, count the chickens before they hatch here. But, you know, we've made smart decisions on the base pass. The defense has been great. You know, we're just doing every facet of the game and playing it the way that, you know, it should be played. So swung on and foul tipped right there. Now 1 ball and 1 strike here on the pitcher, Braxton Davis. He drew a walk in the first inning and scored on a error on the throw by the catcher. So he'll step back in there. Leavell on the rubber. Gets a signs here from the catcher, Bray. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. So again, you know, having a left-hander in there, you know, adds a different look. A little bit taller, lanky left-handed pitcher here for Northeastern. And a little nub shot there to the third baseman. So that will be out number 1 of the inning. And now that will bring on the first baseman, number 17, Brevin Rivers. He had a great at-bat there in the first inning. Fouled off some pitches, just continued to battle, and then ended up working himself into a walk. And then later on scored. Rifle down the third baseline, foul. That's the kind of Brevin Rivers we want to see right there. I mean, when the ball meets his bat and he's got it good, then believe me, you know, you're going to see balls flying, you know, really being sprayed all throughout the whole entire ball field here. He's got that kind of ability to be able to hit the ball to all fields. And not only that, but to do it with some power as well. So again here, 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. Leavell with wind up. Here's the pitch. A ball low and in. Now 2-1, nearly hit his foot. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ball 3 again, low and in. So far, so good here for Rivers in at bat number 2. Again, technically 0 for 0 here on the day. It's a plate appearance, but technically not an at bat. He drew a walk. And that's going to be another walk again here for Rivers as he's on down there at first. So now the third base, number 16, Nolan Dudley, will stand in. Also drew a walk in the first inning and scored a run. So you have Rivers at first, 1 away. And a bit inside there. Now 1-0 to begin here on Nolan. And here's the pitch. Another one inside, so definitely not afraid to pitch inside of these hitters so far. Rivers, I think at least 2 or 3 of the pitches in his at-bat was well inside. Davis had some also inside. So, when you can work both sides of the plate and then up and down with all quadrants there, that's good. But only if you're getting swings and misses or strikes being called. And so far, he's had a little bit of trouble with some of the control issue there. But nevertheless, 2-1 the count. Level here with a pitch. Swung on and missed. A very effective breaking ball right there to get Nolan Dudley swinging on that one. So now 2-2 the count. And a ground ball there to the third baseman. Throws on to second. Down to first. And the first baseman off of the bag. So it will be a 5-4 force out. 2 out now in the inning.
Base number 21, Riley Porter.
So Dudley on at first rather. Riley Porter out to plate with 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, Wapahani with a 7-0 lead. Was able to push 7 across there in the top or in the bottom of the first inning. And a deep drive to left down to the third base or down the left field line rather and foul. So 0-1 here on Porter. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and then later scored. Called strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes here on Porter. And another one fouled down to the third base line. That was a pretty hard shot right there by Porter. So no balls, 2 strikes. That's going to be a ball away. So runs the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Riley Porter. Level taking a long look in there, gets the signs, glances over there at first, and the pitch. Another ball high now, 2-2. And fouled off to the backstop. So this will be pitch number 7. Or pardon me, pitch number 6 of the at-bat. And here we are, and a fly ball in a shallow center field. Tough play, and the center fielder there to make the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So the Raiders get a base runner after the walk, and nothing to show for here in the bottom of the second inning. So they lead it 7-0 after 2. And we'll step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with more Raider baseball right after this. All righty, folks, here we are back with the top of the third inning here from Raider Field. Again, a 7-0 lead here for the good guys, as the first pitch will be fouled off and out of play here for the right fielder, number 4, Tyler Jakowski. Playing right field here in Game 2, did not play in the first game. Don't know, must have just barely missed. So 1 ball and 1 strike now on Jakowski. Here's the pitch from Davis. And that one's going to be fouled off to the backstop there. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis so far, really for the most part here, has been a strike throwing machine. He's gotten ahead of his hitters, all but one guy. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, low and away. Here's the payoff pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. So Jakowski will take his base. Second walk of the day, and I might as well go ahead and chalk that one up for that being my fault. I mentioned how he's gotten ahead of all these hitters, and as soon as I said that, things went south for him. So I'll take that one there, Davis. I apologize for that one. The broadcasting jinx, again, worked unfortunately on the other side of things that time around. A bunt down the first base line will go foul. So 0-1 here on the shortstop, number 22, Ben Deitch. He also played in the first game. Finished up the day at 0 for 2. Going on to pitch right there. They're just going to throw that back to Davis. So I'm not sure if that was called a ball or a strike right there. I'm pretty sure that was called a ball. So it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. It was a stolen base there for Jakowski, which Lipscomb tried to throw him out, but really couldn't get anything on it. The hitter was right there in the way. The pitch took him close to the runner there. There was no contact, so there was no player interference. If that was the case, then the runner would have been out. But just unfortunate there. So again, a runner now at second base, called strike. Now 1-2. And again, nobody out here in the inning. Pickoff move back to second. Jakowski's in there safely. One ball, two strikes, one on, and nobody out here in the top of the third. Here's a pitch from Davis, a little dribbler again, foul. So the count stayed put at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now a drive there into center field. Stanley there to make the catch. And we'll get it back in the infield there quick, fast, and in a hurry. So a good job right there recording out number 1 on the fly out there of Deitch.
Back in the top of the lineup with left fielder number 17.
And now back to the top of the order with the left fielder number 17, Colton Alexander. Alexander flew out to the left fielder in the first inning after a nice little diving catch by Isaiah Brozier. And a ground ball. Nice. Oh, I thought that was going to be a nice play there by Porter. But looked like it popped in and out of the glove there. And, that was going to be a tough play either way.
Next up to the plate, third base number 29, Zach Jakowski.
We might just, unfortunately, it's probably going to be an error there on Porter. Tough play. I mean, more than likely, I'm sure he probably would say he should have had it, but tough play either way. So E4 got runners at the corners with 1 out, and that's in there. Called a strike here on third baseman Zach Jakowski. No balls and 1 strike. Again, runners on the corners, 1 out here in the inning. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Real nice pitch there from Braxton. And a pitch out just to see if anything's going there. So nothing on. So now 1-2 the count. And another one foul that was off of the hitter, but he was still in the batter's box. So the count will remain here. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on the third baseman, Zach Jakowski. With runners on the corners, still 1 out here in the top of the third inning. And the Raiders with a 7-0 lead. And Rivers really saved Davis there. That ball could have got away. So nice snag there from Brevin. Another pickoff move back in there is Alexander's. He again is in there safely at first. Again, Tyler Jakowski at third. Colton Alexander at first, and Zach Jakowski at the plate. As that's in there for a ball now, 2-2. Oh, man, just missed right there. Great placement there by Braxton. Tried to paint the corner, didn't get the call. Again, it was close. Could have went either way. I can understand. And for the most part, the umpire's been calling that a ball, so, that is what it is. So that one fouled off. So redo it again here. This will be pitch number 8 in the at-bat here with Zach Jakowski. Davis glances there at first, comes to the set and the payoff pitch, and that will be ball 4. So that's going to load the bases. A couple of walks here in the inning, also an error. Really, this is an inning that probably should have already been out of. I mean, it happens. It's not like anybody's doing it, intentional. It's just part of the game. You got a couple of opportunities here to get out of the inning, and we weren't able to do that. And right now, we still, put ourselves in a bad position here. I mean, yeah, we do have one out, but essentially, probably could have been out of the inning. The ground ball, and then also to go along, with a pair of walks there. They've worked the count. They've done a nice job. I will give them that. Probably just need to execute a little bit better on some of these pitches. Some pitches have been there, might not have gotten a call. It's just, again, it's one of those things. It's just part of the game, and you got to being able to adjust to different points in a ball game. And right now, you do have one out. You got to find a way to get an out right here, and hopefully get out of this inning with nobody crossing the plate. So Bain at the plate right now. A fly ball there in the left center field. And Stanley will make the play. The throw will go into third. So the run does score. So a good job right there by Stanley, knowing the situation. A good pitch there from Davis. And being able to only limit that to one run. And not only that, but getting the out.
Hitter number 25, Spencer Benner.
So again, Tyler Jakowski scores. Still have Alexander at second, Zach Jakowski at first. And that will be in there for a ball, 1-0 here on Spencer Benner. But again, what I was just mentioning there, Stanley, made the catch, and instead of throwing that in the second, doing what you should do, throwing on the third, he made the right decision right there, and made it to where both runners didn't advance, because he throws that in the second base right there. You never know what can happen there. Obviously, the base runner can advance on the third, then he's only 90 feet away. So that's just good baseball smarts right there, and that's something that obviously was the right decision to make anyway. So 2-1 the count here on Benner. Following him will be Seth Middleton. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Should be a can of corn there for Stanley. And it is, as he'll make the play for the third and final out of the inning. So one run does cross the plate. But a nice job there by Braxton Davis, getting out of trouble, get a couple fly ball outs. Nothing hurt there. Yeah, you do allow a run, but we can get that back pretty quickly here, hopefully. So nevertheless, 7-1 is the score as Northeastern gets one run here on no hits, also one error, and 2 left on base. To the bottom half of the third we go. 7-1 Raiders. We'll be back after this. Welcome back here at the bottom half of the third inning here from Raider Field. Again, with a lead of 7-1 for your Raiders. We'll lead things off here with Luke Willman to begin the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 to begin things here on Luke. He had a RBI or 2 RBI double in the first inning. Had a great game there in game 1. And that's going to be popped up there in the infield. And the second baseman there to make the play for out number 1. So, quick out there the inning. And now we'll see left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier. Here's the pitch from Level. Ball high and away. 1-0 to begin things here on Brozier. Isaiah so far here in game 2 had a 2 RBI single in the first. Another ball high and away. So 2-0 the count on the number 9 hitter in the order. And then back to the top. There with Garrett Stanley. Fouled off and out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike here on Brozier with 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Here's a 2-1 offering. Another one high and away, 3-1. See if the Raiders can push a couple more runs across here in the inning. Put up 7 there in the first inning, nothing in the second, and hopefully can get it going here in the third. And a walk now to Brozier. His on-base percentage today is through the roof. Tell you what, it's a good job there. Brozier now out first. And we will have Garrett Stanley now at the plate with a man on and 1 out. He singled in the first and was hit by a pitch in the second. Pickoff move, and yeah, that's a balk. Yeah, the pitcher never threw the baseball. If you make an attempt to throw, you have to throw the ball actually over to whatever base you're throwing to. Now, at second, you can step off, first base, and so on and so forth. But if you go to pick off the guy, you have to throw the ball. And that's going to hit Stanley again. So now the shortstop, number 5, Evan Roush at the plate. Couple runners on, now 1 out here in the inning. Again, record the first out there on the pop-up to the second baseman by Willman to lead it off. Then a walk and then a balk of Brozier. Put him at second, then a hit by a pitch here to Stanley. Gives Roush another opportunity here, as that will be a ball low. 1-0 the count to begin things. Level will come to the set. And a 1-0. A bunt a little bit past the pitcher, and that's going to be a infield single. Or essentially a bunt single, if you will. That's the second time today he's done that.
Next up, the catcher number 3, Tyson Lipscomb.
So Stanley at second, Brozier at third, Roush at first, and the catcher Number 3, Tyson Lipscomb at the plate. See if he can send a big charge into one right here. It's going to be called a strike, 0-1. Weevil taking a long look in there. Finally gets what he likes. Here's the 0-1. And just a bit out. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. And there's strike 2. And right to the first baseman, and that's going to be a double play. Unfortunate turn of events right there. I mean, Lipscomb hit that on the screws. I didn't even have time to react to be able to get the camera over there. I mean, an absolute missile right into the glove of the first baseman, and then he touched first base for the double play. So a tough go of it there for Tyson and the Raiders. But, hey, we still lead at 7-1. We'll head to the top of the 4th here, folks. We'll be back here with more from Raider Field on a WHS network. Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fain in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been servicing the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. Welcome back here, folks. Top of the 4th inning here on the WHS Network. Get things started here with the second baseman, Seth Middleton, as it's already 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Middleton so far here today fouled out to the first baseman in the second. Not a whole lot to show for there. So 2-1 the count. And a fly ball left center field. Stanley's going to have a challenge there. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. So good job of getting it back in there. So a leadoff double here for Middleton.
Next up to bat, the catcher number 2, Cade Bray.
So the catcher number 2, Cade Bray, now standing in 0 for 1. Flew out to the center fielder, Stanley, in the second. And they already have a leadoff base runner on. Middleton out there at second. Nice job of Lipscomb smothering that ball there. Keep that from getting by. So 1-0 here on Bray. Strike 2 called. Pardon me, strike 1 called. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball low and away. Another nice job, Lipscomb keeping it in front. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 on and nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Nice pitch there from Braxton. Narrowly was able to sneak it in there, but just a bit low there for ball 3. Three-two payoff pitch, and it's going to be a ground ball right through the right side of the infield. Adams will get that one in quickly there, so that will hold the runner at third. So a pair of hits to open up the inning here for the Knights in the 4th. So now Lipscomb will come out there along with the rest of the infield. Have a talk there with Braxton just to settle him down a little bit here, just to, I guess, take a little brief pause in the action here to where Northeastern, from the, first batter here in the inning there with Middleton, and then Bray right there, you get off to a good start there for them. Get a couple of hits. Already got a man in scoring position here. A couple guys on. Still nobody out. Now, your job here as Braxton Davis, is to limit the damage as much as possible here. You'd love to have a strikeout here, maybe a strikeout, then a double play. Whatever works. You just got to find a way to get an out right here and limit the damage as much as possible. So showed bunt, missed it, and it's 0-1. Pickoff move back to first as Bray will be back in there safely. Here's the 0-1. Another one bunted but foul. So no balls and 2 strikes. Nice job there by Davis, looking the base runner back. Was able to pick up the out right there.
Next up, right fielder number 4, Tyler Jakowski.
So now Tyler Jakowski now to plate. And he got runners at second and third. Now 1 out in the inning. So still an opportunity here to get out of this inning with nothing crossing the plate. Good job there by Lipscomb, again keeping the ball relatively there in the same area. And really a good job there by Davis of having the confidence that, if he throws it in the dirt, that Lipscomb will be able to keep the ball in front. That's going to be fouled back and out of play. So an even count here, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jakowski drew a walk in the third. and scored the run off of the RBI sacrifice fly by Justin Bain. So 1 ball and a strike here on Jakowski. Davis with a pitch, and in there just off the plate for a ball. Strike 2 called. 2-2 here on Tyler Jakowski. Davis is 1 pitch away here from getting this second out of the inning. And you got runners second and third in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Adams will make the catch and will rifle that baby right on home. Great job right there. Making the catch, getting the ball in quickly. So now there's 2 out here in the inning.
Next up to the plate, the shortstop, number 22, Ben Deitch.
So now the shortstop, number 22, Ben Deitch, now to plate. He flew out to the center fielder in the third. So just 1 more out to get. Davis got to bear down and get it right here. Fly ball in the center, right center field, and Stanley with the catch. Oh, heck yes. What a dandy. So Stanley makes the running play to end the inning just like that. So great job there by Davis and the teammates of Davis right there for an unbelievable catch right there and a great way to end the inning with nobody crossing the plate as Northeastern gets no runs here on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Again, the Raiders lead at 7-1 after 3.5.
When you need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Bottom of the 4th inning here from Raider Field here on the WHS Network here on YouTube.com. Again, we appreciate all of you for joining us here today. We hope today's been a great broadcast here for all of you to watch. Again, been a one-man show here today with Redbeard not being here, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully all of you have enjoyed it. And a deep shot to left. Is it going to be gone? Foul ball. Right down the left field line. I mean, that was an absolute drive right there from Davis. That ball probably landed, after the roll and all, Probably not too far away from the teacher's parking lot over there, which I'd say it's probably a good 450 feet away. So now 2-1 the count. But again, been a very long day here so far. Been at it now for 4 hours. Actually, a little over 4 hours, including the pre-games and post-game and everything else. But doing the camera, the graphics, obviously the count that you have on the screen, scoreboard, keeping my own scorebook running, the audio, commercials, everything else. It definitely is quite a bit. But again, I think really for the most part here, everything went rather smoothly here today here for us. Again, we do miss Redbeard. Hope to get him back on the broadcasting side of things here pretty soon. But nevertheless, here, full count here on Davis. The wind-up and a payoff pitch. And that's going to be rifled down the third baseline again, foul. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Davis at the plate. Level on the mound. And taking a long look in there, gets what he likes, and a payoff pitch once again. Another drive down the left field line, foul. So Davis looking to straighten one out. Tell you what, if he gets a hold of one like he did before, if he's able to get that one to go fair, that's going to be a real nice drive there. And that's going to be ball 4. So a great at bat there by Braxton. So a leadoff walk to begin the inning here in the bottom of the 4th. And now we'll have the first baseman, number 17, Brevin Rivers. We're going to have a courtesy runner. Well, momentarily we will. Their courtesy runner is actually it's Caleb Henderson, but he was down in the bullpen with a pitcher warming up down there. So he's finally out there. And that's going to get by the catcher. So Henderson will take second base on the ball. Being a wild pitch there. Rivers standing in here again, 0 for 0 on the day. He's drawn a walk in both plate appearances, also scored a run. He's gotten 1 ball, no strikes here on Rivers. Man out there at second. Swung on and missed, strike 1. So Level finally gets a signs. Here's the 1-1. Just a bit inside there now. 2 balls and a strike. Following Rivers, we'll see Nolan Dudley. And a pitch. Ball up and out of the zone for now a count of 3-1. Still, again, nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Henderson out there at second. Level on the rubber, and Rivers at the plate. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a called strike on the inside part of the plate. So another count that's ran to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see what Rivers can put together right here. And a little bloop shot over the head of the second baseman. Here comes Henderson motoring around third. He'll be in there safely at home. So a RBI single, Brevin Rivers. Nicely done there, young man. The Raiders now with an 8-1 lead. And still nobody out.
Third base number 16.
Nice piece of hitting right there. So the third base, number 16, Nolan Dudley, standing in. Nolan so far 0 for 1. Drew a walk and scored in the first inning. And then grounded out to the third baseman in the third. So again, 8-1 is your score here in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Yeah, if you're just now joining us, Wapahani won the first game 11-1 in 6 innings. Another pickoff move back to first, and Rivers again in there safely. I wouldn't really be too worried if I was Level about Rivers. I mean, very minimal lead over there. Sure, can Rivers run? Absolutely. He's not really a big-time stolen base threat, but he can definitely, get around the base pass. No question about that, rather easily. So, you want to keep him in check over there, but I wouldn't be too worried about him to where, you're having to throw over there 3-4 times in an at-bat. Now, if we're talking Garrett Stanley, or some of those, Evan Rouse, maybe some of those guys, then I can understand that. So 1-0 the count here on Nolan. Here's the pitch. A ball high, now 2-0. So far, 8 runs on 6 hits today here for Wapahani. And there, a call to strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Dudley. Level will get his signs, and the 2-1 pitch will be rifled down the third base line, bobbles it, throws on to second, and that's all she wrote. So a hot smash right there from Dudley, but unfortunately the third baseman, a nice pair of hands down there, and was able to make the snag for a 5-4 fielder's choice put out there.
Jumping up to the plate, second baseman number 21, Riley Porter.
So second baseman, number 21, Riley Porter, now standing in. He is 0 for 1 as well today. Was hit by a pitch in the first and later scored, and then flew out to the center fielder in the second inning. So now we have Dudley at first with 1 away here in the bottom half of the fourth. And an 8-1 lead. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Again, really, I've really liked what I've seen today here from Wapahani. We've come out here, we've showed up, we've defended our home field, and so far so good from every facet of the game. So he'll watch that one in there for a ball low. So now 1-1 the count. And not to mention, and I've already talked about this as well a couple different times, but, when you can come out here and enjoy a nice day like it has been today, makes things that much more enjoyable. Nice little line shot in the right center by Porter, so that'll be his first hit of the ball game. So yeah, he had a real nice day at the plate in the first game as well. So It just keeps on keeping on.
Next up for the Raiders.
As Rivers now, or pardon me, Dudley now at second base, Porter at first. And still one out here with the designated hitter number 4, Luke Willman, now at home plate. Great opportunity here. He's 1 for 2 on today. Had a 2 RBI double in the first. And then popped it up to the second baseman in the third inning. So a good opportunity here for the Raiders. Looking to strike for more. As that's a ball low and in, 1-0. Again, Willman here on the day. He had 6 RBIs in the first game, at least to my knowledge. I think it was 6. And then he also has 2 more so far here in this game. So 8 RBIs on the day. That's not too bad, I would say. Not too many guys can probably say that. So 1 ball, 1 strike here on Willman. Cleveland comes to the set. Here's the pitch. Ball low and in again. Now 2-1. Close pitch right there, but in there for a ball. So another favorable count here for the Raiders at the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike with Isaiah Brozier waiting on deck. He's had a nice day at the plate as well. Tell you what, I don't know if there's anybody that hasn't really had a nice day at the plate. Everybody's really done a nice job here today. And, they're going to say that's a fair ball. I thought at first it was a foul ball. That's why I didn't change the camera down to third base line. I usually don't try to do that during a foul ball. But end up being a hit again here for Luke Willman. Oh, actually an error, but still finding a way to get on base.
Left fielder number 11, Isaiah Brozier.
So a bobble there by the third baseman. Second error of the day now for Northeastern. So the Raiders have them loaded. Again, this time around for Isaiah Brozier. 1 for 1 here in game number 2. So he'll watch that one in there for a called strike, 0-1. Brozier singled with a 2 RBI single in the first. And then later in the third, he drew a walk and was left stranded at third base. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Well outside there to even a count up here to ball and a strike. And so now the catcher's going to have a little chat here with his pitcher. Might just tell him a little bit here, maybe changing the signs, just so then they're on the same page here. Because with having a runner out there at second base, you can see maybe what they're putting down. Pick up on that. Then they might be reading that. Believe me, that stuff goes on. I don't care what anybody says. High school, whether it be high school baseball, college baseball, minor leagues, major leagues, happens all the time. That's why teams got to change things up a little bit to keep their opponents from being able to read their pitches or maybe a little tip off here or there. But hey, if you can take advantage of it in a ball game, why not? 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Oh man, looked a little outside from here. But called a strike, and that's all that matters. So 1-2 the count here on Brozier. Tell you what, that whole left side of the infield more or less is wide open over there. Let's see if he can spray one out there. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball to the second base side. That's going to get through. Here comes the throw home, and he's going to be safe at the plate. So another 2 RBI single here for Isaiah Brozier. Tell you what, have another. I mean, it has been everybody. There's just not. It's not just one person. It is everybody here today. You gotta love seeing that. So Dudley scores, Porter scores, and Willman now at third. You have Brozier at second. So again, a 2 RBI single. 10 runs now on 7 hits for the Raiders. And a pop-up in the infield. I'm sure that was not in the cards here for Garrett, but that is what it is. So second out now of the inning. And the shortstop, number 5, Evan Roush now at the plate. So again, 3 runs have scored here in the inning. Was 7-0, now 7-1, then 10-1. We'll see if we can strike for more here, as that will be swung on and missed strike 1 here on the Raiders shortstop, Evan Roush. Roush so far here on the day, 2 for 3. Grounded out to the first baseman in the first, then had a pair of singles in the second and the third inning. So we'll see if he can come up big here with another hit or a walk, whatever the case might be. And a chopper to the shortstop, going to be a tough play. Over to first, and out is the call. So the right call made there by the umpire. Got to give some credit there to Tanner Hoots. But hey, still an opportunity there. Roush nearly had it. But unfortunately couldn't come away with any more runs. But the Raiders do, however, strike for 3 more here in the bottom of the 4th and take a 10-1 lead after 4 innings of play here from Raider Field. So, folks, again, we'll step aside here for a break, and we'll be back here with the top of the 5th coming up on the WHS Network. Alrighty, folks, back here with the top of the 5th inning here on the WHS Network here on YouTube.com. Have a new pitcher on the mound here for the Raiders. It's number 12, Gavin Noble. So the day is done there for Braxton. A heck of a game here for himself. Went out there and pitched four innings of fantastic baseball, as that pitch is going to be fouled off here. 1 ball and 1 strike. here on the leadoff hitter, Colton Alexander. But Davis went out there, pitched 4 innings. Really, probably would have potentially been a shutout there. If not, just for a couple little miscues here and there in the 3rd inning. But really outside of that, just a great day of pitching here for Braxton. It's been a great day of pitching overall for the Raiders. Gadberry in the first game, Davis here in the second game. And hopefully Noble can come in here and slam the door shut here on the Knights, and we can move on to bigger and better things here. So 3-1 the count. Then they're called a strike. Now 3-2. Not 100% sure. I think Noble is a freshman or sophomore. What we got over there, Mitchell? Sophomore pitcher. I'll tell you what, we have quite a few of those. So it's good to have these youngsters, man. I'll tell you, coming in here, I've already touched on that again quite a few times, but having that youth and from a pitching standpoint and having abundance of it, and not only that, but they're talented, that is great to see, without question. So a leadoff walk for Colton Alexander, so he's down there at first with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. And now we'll see the third baseman, number 29, Zach Jakowski, now to plate. He is 0 for 1 here on the day, grounded out to the pitcher, and then drew a walk in the third. And there rifles that one on in there for a strike, 0-1. And a chopper to the third base side, foul. So 0-2 here on Jakowski. Following him will be Justin Bain. And a ball up and out of the zone. Good placement there by Noble to run the count here to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again with a base runner out there at first, and Alexander. Middle infield playing in double play depth. And here's a 1-2 pitch. Ball low in the dirt. Nice job there by Lipscomb to keep it right out there in front of him. Again, so far on the day, Northeastern's only managed to collect 2 hits here in this second game. And a pop-up in the infield. Who wants it? And that will be the catcher, Tyson Lipscomb, there in foul ground. It's a nice job there to collect the out. Good job there by Noble to make the pitch. And so 1 out now in the inning. The center fielder, number 7, Justin Bain, now at the plate.
Next up to the plate, center fielder number 7, Justin
So
Bain.
Alexander, again, still out there at first. Colton Alexander after a leadoff walk, and then the foul out there of Jakowski. And now Bain at the plate, looking to roll up a twin killing right here, as that will be fouled off out of play. 0-1. Bain so far, technically no at-bats. He's had 2 plate appearances. Drew a walk in the first, and then had a sacrifice flyout with an RBI in the third. That's a ball up and in. Now 1-1. Noble will come to the set, and here's the 1-1 offering. Ball high down to second base. Look at that strike thrown down there. That was beautiful. So 2-1 the count. 2 out now in the inning. My goodness. Great throw there by Lipscomb. Now strike 2. as Bain is chasing some high cheese. I mean, that was just right on the money. Always love to see a good throw from a catcher down to second base, and Lipscomb made that look about as good as it gets. So 3 balls, 2 strikes here on Bain. Nobody on and 2 out here in the inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3. See you later. Fantastic job there. Gavin Noble, fine young man, gets the job done here in the top of the 5th inning as he shuts down the Knights here as they get no runs here on no hits. Also no errors and nobody left on. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Again, Raiders only need 1, folks. 10-1 lead. We'll be back after this. All right, folks, welcome back here on the WHS Network as we get things going here with the bottom half of the 5th inning. We do have a new pitcher on the mound. It is number 22, Ben Deitch. And there's Tyson Lipscomb, base hit in the right field. I'll tell you what, he's had a couple of really good shots, well, probably more like 3 or 4 really good shots today in these 2 games. And they have not fell in. So that's his first hit, technically, of the day. And very deserving of that. I'll tell you that much. And in there for a ball. And Lipscomb's going to take off for second and in there safely. So 1 ball, no strikes. And now ball 2, now 2 balls, no strikes. Here on Gavin Noble. And a pitch. Ball low and in now, 3-0. So again, the inning was led off there by Lipscomb. Had a leadoff single to begin things and a wild pitch, allowed him to advance on the second. And now that will be in there. Called a strike now, 3-1. First plate appearance of the day here for Gavin. Davis had a fantastic day on the mound and at the plate. Here's the pitch. Ball outside, and Noble will trot on down to first. And now Lipscomb also now to third after the wild pitch.
Next up for the Raiders is number 19, Gage Cadbury.
So Gage Gadberry now at the plate. He will be hitting for Brevin Rivers. So I'm not sure if Gadberry will stay in the game or well, hopefully he'll just be able to end the game right here. But if we end up moving on to the 6th, I wonder if he'll end up staying in the game or if Rivers will come back in. I guess we'll wait and see if that if we end up crossing paths with that there. And Gadberry narrowly was hit on that pitch. So 1-0 the count here on Gage. He pitched a heck of a game there in game 1 today. Good day from the plate as well. Looking to end it right here. Swung on and missed. Now a strike. Now 1-1. So Deitch takes a long look in there, glances over at first. And the pitch. And a fly ball in the left field. This should do it. And here we go. The runner coming home. Lipscomb at home plate, and the Raiders win it. Final score 11-1 after the sacrifice fly by Gage Gadberry. So the Raiders won both games today by a final score of 11-1, as the Raiders now improve to 8-3 on the season. So folks, we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break, and we will be back here with our Raiders Live pregame coming up here on the WHS Network. All right, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, to our Raiders Live pregame edition here on the WHS Network. Final score here today, your Wapahani Raiders take Game 2, 11-1, swept both games of the doubleheader here today, 11-1, in which here in game number 2, Wapahani had 11 runs here on 8 hits, 1 error, and 7 left on base, while Northeastern had 1 run here on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 5 left on base. Again, Wapahani now improves to 8-3 on the season with this victory. And again, the winning pitcher, Braxton Davis, came out here and pitched 4 great innings of baseball, and the pitching was superb today. I mean, you have 2 games, you only allowed 2 runs, and those were, little, nothing major. It wasn't like they just clobbered the ball. We did what we needed to do. We came out here and put a great game together with both of them, both games, and it was just very exciting to come out here and watch a great day of baseball in this doubleheader against Northeastern. So congratulations there to the fellas. Great job in every facet of the game, pitching, hitting, defense, base running, everything. We really played a solid game, both games 1 and 2. So definitely something to build off of and to hopefully have confidence with as we go now to Monday. The Raiders will be back at home here on Monday and Tuesday both against West on Monday night right back here at 5 o'clock, and then Tuesday here at home against the Frankton Eagles. So just some upcoming games to look forward to. So make sure stay tuned in with us. We'll have those games coming up this coming week right here on the WHS Network. So again, we appreciate you all for being with us here today. It's been a long day of baseball. We started out here. I actually got out here right around 9:15, 9:30 this morning. So I've been out here for over 6 hours. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't get much better than this, having some great baseball to watch and a broadcast. And like I said, unfortunate Redbeard couldn't be here today. But I think overall everything went rather well. The camera, I think for the most part did a good job. It wasn't necessarily still like I like it, but I still think, I have high expectations, I guess. But, I think things went rather smoothly on there, the broadcast and everything else. I really do hope everybody enjoyed it. And we appreciate you all for joining us here today. So, folks, until Monday, I'm Brandon Warvilius, signing off here on the WHS Network. Again, special thanks to all of our sponsors. And, again, we'll see you Monday evening right back here from beautiful Raider Field. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks.